And now, here's the next edition of Applied Common Sense.
I'm Dr. Mitchell Perry, and today's topic is multiple options. Now, think about conflict. Think about how you deal with conflict, either with yourself or with other people. If you're like everyone else, you probably get stressed. And when you get stressed, thinking about conflict, you probably polarize. What does that mean? That means you look at every situation from two options. Usually they're polar extremes: right, wrong, good, bad, win, lose, all, nothing, success, failure. Now, when you look at it in two options, what you will notice, you will start to obsess, meaning you'll start obsessing about the bad option, the wrong, the nothing, the lose. All you know for sure when you polarize is that it's impossible to resolve the conflict because you're obsessing all the time, and all you know for sure is you keep polarizing. That's why it's often the case when you have conflict with someone else, you're always arguing about who's right or who's wrong, and it's impossible to resolve it. So what do? With any form of conflict, the most powerful method that you can use to resolve it and move on is multiple options. It's that simple. As a matter of fact, keep thinking the magic of the third option. In any situation, always think about more than two options. And what happens is when you do that, then you begin to relax. You begin to realize there's more than one right answer. So as a result, you can now come up with something you can live with. When you actually use multiple options in persuading anybody to do anything, you'll be struck to see how you can actually get them to say okay. It's really quite simple. Imagine you have an elementary school son. Your son's name is Bobby. You're trying to get him to finish his dinner. So if you're like everyone else, what you do is you look at your son and you say something like this: "Now, Bobby, you either finish your dinner or you go to bed." Notice most parents do that. Finish your dinner or go to bed. You're under the illusion that Bobby is going to say, "Well, Father, in consideration of those consequences, let me finish my dinner with all deliberate speed." Does your son say that? No. Your son makes it worse. You have even more conflict. So what do you do instead to get Bobby to finish his dinner? Give him three options and put the preferred option last. It would sound something like this: "Bobby, I'm going to give you three choices. Listen very carefully, three options, and you can decide what you want to do. Option number one: we can keep arguing right now about you finishing your dinner. Option number two is you can go to bed. Or option number three is you can finish your dinner and then we can talk about a story." Now listen carefully. Let me do it again. Option one, keep arguing. Option two, go to bed. Option three, finish your dinner, and then we can talk about a story. What do you want to do? When you say that to Bobby, he will be under the illusion that he will be in charge of his destiny. He will choose the third option. And you can do that with anybody. You can give three options, put the preferred option last, and you'll be amazed to see what ordinarily would be a conflict would be something where people will actually agree to proceed. So, the message today is to overcome polarizing, to deal with conflict by far better. Remember, there's three or more options available. Tip: put the preferred option last. When you do that, you'll be able to resolve conflict by far faster, and life will get much better. I'm Dr. Mitchell Perry, and that's today's edition of Applied Common Sense.